Hey guys, I'm back for another reading. I'm going to do a pick a card. I have 3 different piles. I'm going to put a picture of the piles somewhere in a minute in the video so you can look at the piles. It's just going to be a pick a card on general messages from Spirit, things that we could hear right now. And yeah, so the first pile is Shungite. And the second pile is Selenite. And the third pile is Tektite. Okay, so I'll see you guys in your piles. Okay, pile 1. So I've already pre-shuffled all the oracle cards, and then we're gonna do the tarot live shuffle, even though you can't see it. Eventually that's not gonna be the case. But so yeah, we're gonna start out with the tarot. So for pile 1, Spirit, Shungite, my Shungite pile. What messages do we have? So yeah, I'm just going to use 2 different tarot decks. So we'll get the first couple cards out and then clarify with the second deck, and then we'll go to the oracle cards. And I have not seen the oracle cards, so it'll be a surprise for me too. Alrighty, just want like 2 more, 1 or 2 more, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, cool. So we've got the 6 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the 9 of Swords, and the Hanged Man. Okay, I'm hearing to read it from right to left, so we're going to do that. So with the Hanged Man card, you might be feeling like you're in a place of stagnation right now, potentially. Yeah, just at a standstill. Maybe not much is happening around you, or maybe there's a lot happening around you, but you feel kind of frozen in place or stuck in place. Especially with this 9 of Swords card, I could definitely see that. It could be like, I don't want to say self-imposed, but you're up in your head. So maybe it's not externally, it's just internally. We're being halted at a place where we're at. It could be in regards to love. There could have potentially been a really close partnership that something's up, something has happened, potentially. Or this could be saying, as we close out this Hanged Man season and lay to rest the mental turmoil in regards to whatever this is, because it doesn't feel negative, it feels good. We're going to be moving towards like a new emotional beginning, and something that is going to have like a very synchronistic, nostalgic feeling to it. Might be tied to your childhood. You could note maybe somebody coming back from the past, or it's just somebody that you feel a deep bond with, a deep chemistry with. In regards to your heart space. So let's get we're going to get into the second tarot deck to get some more information. But yeah, I definitely, from the cards, I'm seeing somebody who's in a place of reflection, standstill, kind of looking at the pieces, looking at where they could have been wrong, where the other person went wrong, where things went wrong in general. And it's a source of pain. It's causing pain, maybe sleepless nights, potentially. But there is a need to kind of sit and process this. There is to sit with this. So we need to sit with this in order to move to this new Ace of Cups, whatever that is, whatever that blessing will be from the universe, from Spirit. Spirit, I just want to get some clarifying cards. We'll start the Hangman, thank you. We have the Six of Pentacles. Okay. So, potentially, I'm kind of getting this vibe that maybe we're in this Hangman position, not because we want to be, but maybe because we have to be, because for the greater goal of the group, or to keep the peace, is kind of the energy that I'm picking up on from this Six of Pentacles. So in order to keep the peace, I kind of feel like potentially a part of this story could be somebody kind of having to sweep things under the rug, take it as a loss, and, you know, take these lessons, reflect from it, see where you can do better next time, and do better next time. With the Nine of Swords and the Five of Swords, yeah, we're just really focused on whatever this could be, whatever this is mentally, we're just on it, and it's not great, it doesn't feel good. But I do feel like this flow vibe, this energy of moving through, which also is kind of just life, right? We just keep pushing through. So, not that that's great advice, but, you know, if you are grappling with some heavier feelings of regret, remorse, shame, guilt, it's all for a greater good. This all happened to bring that stuff up for you to look at. Yeah, and I kind of feel like there's this energy of maybe not wanting to lay this to rest, and you want to talk about it, you want to get to the bottom of it, you want to have some type of understanding as to why this happened. Yeah, there's we want to have some type of understanding, and right now there's just this pause, maybe feeling left out in the cold. There's definitely changes happening. You have 2 5s here and 2 6s, so we're moving forward. And then the 6 of Cups. Thank you. Okay. The World card. Yep. So this is, I don't even want to say unfortunately, but this might not be a great thing to hear because it's, but this is all happening for you and not to you, and you might not feel that way in the moment. But as the dust settles, I think you're going to definitely come to an understanding of that. I don't have a timeline, but what I do know is that really great things are coming from this, especially if you're able to incorporate these lessons from the inside out and move accordingly in a different situation. And when you see these similar red flags, heed those warnings. I feel like we could potentially be dealing with someone who is maybe like dismissive avoidant, fearful avoidant. I'm not sure. I feel like this person here that I'm looking at wants to kind of get to the bottom, wants to view things from a heart-centered place, but there's a blockage. And I truly believe that rejection is divine protection. But yeah, and with this shungai, I just feel like the energies are being purified and cleansed, and it's okay to sit in this hanged man, 9 of Swords, for a little bit, but not to get stuck there, not to get like woe is me or feeling left out in the cold, because ultimately, like, you can warm your own fire, and ultimately I think that it makes relationships better when you come together with someone, when both of those people are able to light their own fires. And yeah, I'm getting that image of like that like thing when they do that to the fire and it like makes it bigger. So yeah, like that's what this is pushing you into doing, is to be able to light your own fire. And then to be met with someone that also has those capabilities. And so I want to say nothing's off limits, but I'm not sure if that's not what I want to say. But when conflict arises, when things arise, when things get rough, if you're matched on a similar frequency with someone and you have the desire to do that work and to push through and to communicate about it, you want to be matched up with that kind of energy. So I feel like whatever this was that, there's a blocker, it's for a good reason, because I just get the feeling that this person, place, or thing isn't willing to look at it. And so it might actually just be more painful in the long run to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and hitting a wall. It's emotionally draining. So let's get into the oracles. Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. Invoking guides, gods, and guardians. And then we have diving to new depths. And this says, there is a deeper meaning to what is happening. You might be looking at this from the surface and missing what's really going on. Take a moment to pause and breathe. Allow yourself to dive deeper into what it is you're feeling about your current situation. So yeah, I definitely feel like there is a need for you to get serious about what it is that you want. What was it that you liked about this situation? What was it that you didn't like about this situation? And really work towards showing yourself in your external world that with which you feel within, okay? And with the invoking guides, gods, and guardians, you're definitely assisted. I mean, absolutely, if you're here, like, my spirit guides are obviously assisting you. I'm sending blessings and peace and clarity and strength and courage to move through this situation. I definitely see a really beautiful, conclusion within this issue in your life, right? Like, you're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And all this lack potentially that's coming up is coming up so you can put some love into it and abundance into it. So you're really being, you could have actually asked for, a more authentic relationship or situation, and like, this is Spirit's gift to you, and it might be hard to release this, and I'm like burping a lot, so like more than I usually do, and so I feel like there is this release, right? And you've outgrown the situation, and so it's only natural that, you know, it's not going to be fulfilling anymore. We have stand your ground. Choose wisely, and foundations and achievements. So what I get from this is keep that vision, like whatever it is that you want, and maybe you saw parts of that in this situation, like that was beautiful, that desire is beautiful, and that is out there for you. So definitely stand your ground. You know, ask for courage to stand your ground if you need. And just, I'm really just hearing like, don't settle. Don't settle. And I'm not saying that this can't come back around for you, but your last card, 3-3, chaos and conflict. This card is all about how through things getting shaken up, chaos and conflict, clarity arises. Things that weren't stable and sturdy, especially with this foundations card, guys. I mean, I can't make this shit up. Excuse my French. I cannot make this up. With this foundations and achievements card, whatever was built on faulty grounds, like, especially if you ask, and I get the sense that you might have asked for this, like maybe not this specifically, but you in other ways asked for, you know, authentic relationship, a communicative relationship that's more balanced, or job, whatever the situation is for you, if this is resonating. And this is spirit, like, or the universe shaking things up. So whatever wasn't built on firm foundations fell between the cracks. And what you're being urged to do is that which still remains, is to really put your love into that, and that is you. I mean, you wouldn't be here watching this video if you didn't still remain from the situation, right? This is only going to make you stronger. We need the real you. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Embrace your weird, embrace your uniqueness, embrace whatever that is that makes you you and makes you shine bright. Like, embrace that. Don't hide that. Stand in your power, and you will attract that to you. So you might have just been in a state where you weren't fully empowered, and you attracted something that initially was on your level, and you've grown through it. And so now it's time for the next thing. But before we can get there, there's things that we really need to look at and kind of understand your why. Like, why are you walking away? Why are you choosing you? Why are you choosing to go towards something that's better for you, that's less chaotic and less conflicting? Because ultimately we don't want to stay in that energy. That can be a good, helpful energy, but only when we're really observing, okay, now that storm has come through, this is what's stuck, this is what was destroyed. So we're going to take whatever was destroyed, we're going to rebuild on better foundation, better quality products, whatever that is in this example. And so that's really what I feel like we're just in a place of assessing, healing, maybe feeling a little bit paused in this moment, but it's only for the best. It's only for the best. You have support. Don't forget to ask for help. And don't forget to have gratitude for this, right? Because you're going to look back at this and you're going to most likely eventually be thankful that this happened, because it helped you grow into the person that you're going to be, that future person. And it most likely brought in something that's more aligned and something that's more fulfilling for you. And that's ultimately the goal of the universe. Spirit loves you more than you could ever know, and only wants the best for you. And things don't happen to you, they happen for you. And that's what we need to dive into, that truth and that trust. So pile 1, that was your message. Thanks you guys for showing up, and I'll see you in the next reading. Okay, pile 2. Let me get my Palo Santo and cleanse this space for you guys. My pile 2, so I can get all your stuff going. bear with me. I might cut this out, not sure. Okay, pile 2, my selenite pile. Hey guys. So before we get started, I'm gonna just cleanse the space. Thank you, Spirit. So we can start on a fresh blank new canvas for pile 2 selenite, which selenite is self-purifying, which is really cool. So it's not even necessary for me to do this. I'm kidding. Okay, so pile 2 selenite. So I've pre-shuffled all of the oracle cards. We're going to get into those last. I'm going to start with the tarot. So we're going to do 2 different tarot decks. So I'll get the first couple cards out, and then we'll clarify with the second couple cards, and then we'll get into the oracles. So Spirit, what messages do you have for pile 2 selenite? What messages do you have for us? Alrighty. Okay. So messages for pile 2 selenite. Ooh. Okay. 5 of Pentacles. And one more card, Spirit, for my pile 2. Please and thank you. I got a bunch of cards flipping. But nothing. There we go. Okay. Alright, pile 2s. So we've got the 5 of Pentacles, the Death card, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so I definitely feel like we have either just experienced some type of ending, or we will. And remember, it doesn't have to be a relationship, a physical relationship, a physical job, a physical place. It doesn't have to be, right? Endings can be anything, especially with the Death card in tarot. This can be a way of showing up in the world. This can be a way of thinking. This can be, those are like the big things. This can be any type of like emotional baggage that we could be releasing. But it's definitely a big deal. I kind of am feeling, this isn't like a traditional any type of meaning of the Death card, but I feel like we were in some type of cycle that we just kept going round and round and round in, and we finally, the door has been closed. The cycle is up. Even if the lesson wasn't fully incorporated, I'm hearing that like it's done. It's over. It's been ended. Either the viewer or whatever the situation is, there's not going to be any growth from it. At least right now, okay? Because I'm not sure what the situation is. I don't really know the individual story for everyone that could potentially be watching this, but the 5 of Pentacles. So this is like the basic, feeling left out in the cold. but I don't know, I'm feeling like this could be, I'm really noticing that it's like two people in this card. So maybe this, I don't know, if like, I feel like whatever the situation was, it could be like you're not bonding, but like you've shared this experience with somebody else. Whatever this like lack is, whatever this not ideal situation is, feeling cold, wounded, outside, kind of looking for shelter, whether that be physically or, not physically. But looking towards peace, and I feel like whatever the situation was, there wasn't going to be peace, and I think there was some type of awareness of that. And so this does feel like an intentional ending that either you or a group of people or a few people decided to close out a chapter. And now with the Knight of Pentacles, we're kind of restoring whatever was lost with this, or whatever had to be sacrificed with this. We're now kind of slowly building new. That's going to take time. But I just have this feeling of putting like love, intention, nurturing energy into this. I don't feel like it's a totally new thing. It's so weird. I'm not sure exactly how to communicate this, but putting love and intention and nurturing into this new and improved venture, whether it be a relationship, a business, I'm not sure, but we're gonna get some more clarifying cards for this. Okay, so I'm also getting like, even though this could be a group thing, it definitely feels like a group thing, a relationship, partnership of some sort. With whatever this, shakeup was, this intentional shakeup, or something that maybe wasn't intentional, but it was something that was like in the back of your mind that you wanted to see change from. It's put you more so in a state potentially of like leadership or taking more of an initiative, being a little bit more on the front lines. And so I get this like trial and error, slowly, methodically moving through this transition, this new and improved thing, right? And you're showing up really beautifully in that energy. And it feels like this person really wants to, like I said, really nurture this new thing and learn from the mistakes of the past. Okay, so the Five of Pentacles, Spirit. Okay. Pentacles. Okay, and the Queen of Cups. So this one. Yep, okay. So, clarifying the Five of Pentacles, we have the Four of Swords. So, there is definitely, transition, ending something, like, definitely takes a lot out of someone. And so, right now, there is a need for you to rest. I definitely feel like there could be some type of conflict with this ending or with this new and improved business. Maybe not everybody is looking at it from a improved perspective, right? Because with the Seven of Staves, This is like all about competition, defending, you know, defending your land, your honor, your ideas. Um, yeah, so maybe in a sense, you want to, with these new ideas, kind of go a more traditional route with less risk. And if that is the case, well, yes, with the Knight of Pentacles, I mean, this is the slowest moving knight in the whole deck. So, or out of all the knights. But it's very methodical, and the knight always gets to where he's going. And it might be slow. Some people might be thinking you're moving backwards, but you're not. You're slowly moving towards your goal. You have your eye on the prize. You're convicted, and you're going to do it the right way. And you're going to make sure that it's foolproof. And I do feel like even though there might be some conflict within this, there's still a lot of freedom that you have with the Three of Staves. So I'm getting affirmation, or yeah, affirming and confirming from Spirit that if that is what you want to do and you want to go down a path of less risk, that's more sturdy, more tried and true, you're getting the green light. I feel like there's definitely a green light to do that. And then that's going to alleviate a lot of pressure of conflict, even though people might not be agreeing with this. They kind of get right or get left, right? You got to, what is it? Not stick with the program, but, you know, you got to keep moving. You got to keep going. We can't really sit in this, right? Business is, you know, still booming, I guess, or it's still progressing every day. So, but yeah, definitely with this energy of nurturing and intention that you want to put into this, don't put yourself in a box. Definitely look at all your options, look out there. And I do feel like other things, maybe you're waiting for something to come in. It might be slow coming, but I do think this intention feels so good with whatever this is. You're going to get with that which is aligned and is serving for the highest and greatest good of all. That those things will come in and are going to aid you in this process. So we'll get into the oracles. We have a new start is coming, new moon, dude. I haven't seen any of these oracles yet, so what am I telling you? You are embarking on fixing something up or destroying it to make something new, and it's good. It's good. It's aligned. Engaging with fears and doubts. So, and maybe like this competition that is I definitely feel like it could be more so not just in your head. I think it's actually there. But I also think that it could be a little bit more fear. At least she scared me, even though I know she's right there. It could be more of a fear thing, but it's good to, okay, so this is what I'm hearing. When they say, like, are you afraid? Okay, keep doing it. I need to, like, honestly listen to this too. This could be my pile, potentially, but, you know, when something is scary to you, obviously not, like, physically, like, oh, you're gonna go into a lion's den or something, but something with, like, stepping outside your box. I said that, don't keep yourself in a box. Really, like, press the envelope. You can do that even in a traditional, tried and true sense. But there's just this need to, like, don't confine yourself in a box. This is a new thing. Let's make it new. Let's make it progressive. You have wisdom. You've kind of, I feel like you've gone down this path again, and you're getting a chance to do it again better, or just more uniquely to your own experiences and what you think needs to be put out there. And that is valuable. We need that, right? This feels like a very refreshing energy. And I just am happy that you're not giving up. And even if you're taking those baby steps and taking it day by day, you're not giving up, and that's not being noticed, right? Like, these things are coming in for you because you are so capable and you have a beautiful vision. So anytime that you are feeling like those fears or doubts, lean into that, question that, you know, connect to source. Go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift required to attract what you want. Yes. So this is so cool with the Three of Wands, the Queen of Cups. This could be like a group thing, but I think it's important for you, like the card says, to go within, shake those fears and doubts out, engage with them, ask yourself, why is this? Why is that? You might be surprised to find where that leads you. Because I feel like you just really need to push past that slowly but surely, and connect with source while you do it to get like the best guidance with this, or even to like wade in your waters, because that can be really intense. You know, sometimes people need, I'm not saying that in this case, but sometimes people need professional help to do that. No judgment. I'm, one of those people. Oh my gosh. Oh, so many jump scares right now. So, I'll have to call her back. I forgot what I was even saying. Okay. So yes, going within to create the shift that you want. Oh, I skipped ahead. Okay, so we got obstacles and challenges. I definitely sense that that is the case. We have balance, and then we have material and spiritual prosperity. So if that is not literally, well, what I'm seeing in the cards, if we're trying to co-create a really beautiful outcome, this is awesome. Nothing is going to come without challenges, unfortunately, but nobody ever promised that that would be so. So I definitely feel like we're in this moment, or we will be, with this idea, having those obstacles and challenges, but it's really important to maintain balanced, so just not overdoing it in whatever, in the most basic sense, right? If you're putting in time to work, make sure you're putting in time to also take care of yourself as well. You're going to need that, especially if you're being met with a lot of challenges and obstacles and competition from others, and especially if you're feeling tired, like you need to rest, but we need to keep going, like I was saying before. This actually definitely might be my pile, but great things are coming. You have the material and spiritual prosperity, so this definitely feels like we're pushing through in a physical sense, either with a relationship, whether that be a friendship, whether that be romantic, whether that be a work kind of thing. But we're definitely pushing through. We're keeping our eye on the prize, and this might be a slow and steady process, but as long as we're doing it with love, and we're putting our love into it and our intention into it, and we're connecting with source, and we're not being held back by our own mind, and fears and doubts that aren't even real, most likely, we can't do that. We got to trust in the process. We got to keep pushing through. Definitely taking the time out that you need to process these things. But haters are our motivators, guys. I mean, that's like a funny thing, but it's actually so true. Use that to fuel these ideas with balance and with love, which I already feel like you're doing, and this is just a confirmation of that. And then last card is happy, happy. So this is just so beautiful. Like none of this is to like read. None of this is happening to derail you. It's happening so that you can kind of put yourself in more of a position of power, is what I'm hearing. Because power in itself isn't bad. It's the intentions behind it, right? So I just feel like this power that you wield is very nurturing, very loving, very caring, and not to let that go, not to give up on that. And you're being guided into a very, very happy, abundant time, with a lot of prosperity and a lot of freedom to kind of play with your creativity and your ideas. So this feels really good. I'm actually curious as to hear what this could be for some people. But pile 2, that was your reading, and I'll see you guys in the next pile. Thanks. Okay, pile 3, pile 3. Let me clear these cards from the last pile. And then I'm going to burn a little bit of Palo Santo. And then we're going to get into it. Okay, pile 3. My Tektite pile. This is really fun. My Tektite. Hey guys. Okay, where's here it is. Spirit, I just want to clear the slate so we can have a clean slate, clear the energy for pile 3 so we can start fresh with their pile. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun diving into these energies. All right. Let me get some water. I'm thirsty. My face is thirsty. Okay, pile 3. So I have pre-shuffled the oracle cards, and I have not seen any of them yet, so that's always really fun. We're going to get into the tarot first. I have 2 different tarot decks we're going to use, so I'm going to just get the general messages, and then we're going to clarify, and then we're going to get into the oracles. All right, my pile 3, Spirit, what messages do you have for pile 3 with the Tektite? What messages do you have for pile 3? All right. Okay. Okay, so we have the, ooh, this is fun. The Ace of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Cups. Oh. And I think the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, the wheel is turning. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I definitely, the bottom of the deck was 8 of Wands, and I definitely feel that. So we could be about to start something new, or like you've already started it and you're in the thick of it now. If you have not started this new venture, there's going to be a lot going on, and it's going to be good. It's going to be really good for you. It's going to feel really good, but you're definitely going to be juggling. But you're going to be juggling things that you love, is what I'm hearing. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of surprises. So it feels like it's not going to be very predictable. But within the surprises, you're going to be surrounded by and met with a lot of love, soul family. You're going to have a really great support system. So you're going to be able to ride these waves and juggle and balance all this stuff out better because you have really great support around you. This energy feels so good. Not sure what this new beginning is. It could definitely be monetary. I mean, with the Pentacles, right? Could be in regards to business, career, a fun hobby that you're making money from. Not really sure, but it's with the 6 of Cups. It's going to be very emotionally fulfilling, and it's something where you can be creative and maybe tap into your inner child a little bit more, this new beginning. So it feels really, really good, but it's not predictable. It feels a little bit, yeah, just not predictable. You don't really know what's going to be coming around the corner. This is giving like commission only vibes. But it feels really good. So let's get into the clarifiers. That was like quick, straight to the point message right there. Okay, so we're gonna get some clarifiers. Let me just shuffle these bad boys up. Alright, what is this? What more information can we get on this Ace of Pentacles? What about this Two of Pentacles? And the Six of Cups. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Nice, nice. So we've got I love. Okay, so clarifying the Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, you got 2 5s. There's one thing I'll say is I always like to do this reading, like, or the readings that I create, I like trial it on myself. And a lot of 5s were coming out, and I think we got 5s in like every pile. So there's just a lot of changes going on, and with those changes can be conflicts, right? Change is not easy for everyone. Some people don't always welcome change easily. So with the Ace of Pentacles, with this new beginning, there's 5 of Swords. So I definitely am feeling like this feels more like a warning. As we're putting in to this new beginning, because of the unpredictability of it, we really want to be mindful of our thoughts that we're feeding into, because our thoughts are energy and our thoughts are very powerful. You can manifest things whether you're being intentional about it or not intentional. So it's just something to keep in mind with this unpredictability, not to get worried and think the worst, and always be ready to like fight or always be looking behind your shoulder kind of thing. I'm just, there's no need to do that. This is built on a really good foundation. This feels really good. This is something that you manifested, you called in, and don't think it's too good to be true. Okay? And even if there is, with this Two of Pentacles, this could mean that there are ebbs and flows with this thing because it's unpredictable. Just because there's, maybe we'll just say a bad day, if you have a bad day, or days, it's not reflecting that this situation isn't aligned for you, right? Not to say that it's not aligned, but I wouldn't take some bad days or days where we're not making any profit or whatever that thing may be, if we're not seeing anything happening, as like a sign that it's not aligned. It's just part of the process, it's part of the flow. So making sure we're maybe doing positive mantras, just staying positive about this kind of ever-changing situation that we're in, because this is ultimately something that fulfills you deeply and you love this. I'm feeling like maybe any kind of linear, straightforward thing is just boring to you, maybe. So just not to forget that this is something that really fulfills you and that you love this unpredictability about it. And just to keep positive within that. With the sacrifice card, um, yeah, being compassionate towards yourself and towards others, but they're also, yeah, being compassionate towards yourself and towards others. With this balancing act that we're doing, we might have to put some things on the back burner. And that might make some people upset. You know, you might have to sacrifice some things, potentially, or just limit the time that you can spend. And so that's something that is going to be coming up, but definitely remain in your power. Keep your sights on your goals, because like the greater goal, right? I think the greater goal that you're pushing towards to, or you're moving into, you're moving towards, is going to help so many people. It feels like, and so if there is something that you have to sacrifice or limit your time or whatever that is, and you're getting any kind of pushback from that, I would take that as confirmation, one, that you're doing the right thing, and also B, maybe reevaluating that relationship, that commitment that you have, because ultimately I just feel like there's a need to look at the bigger picture, not focusing on the day to day, not focusing on the micro, because maybe that might not be, it's like I'm getting like a fixed, is it the fixed index annuity, like where you're investing in an account that like, you know, grows, and it's like, what is it? An investment account. So it's just unpredictable, and you don't really want to like necessarily, depending on what you have, every day look in it, because every day it's going to be fluctuating. So with this, whatever this is, if it's not that, it's definitely that vibe. So so that's something, that's a big thing that keeps coming. We keep coming back to that. But basically, yeah, if somebody can't see the bigger picture and like the goals that you're moving towards, that is an indication maybe that they might, I was going to say they might need to go on the chopping block, but not trying to be mean or like cold or anything, but I just feel like a very driven and focused energy, and like a big picture focus. I'm noticing the dragon and the eagle. So like that, with the eagle, that raptor vision, you know, like there's something here that you see, there's a goal in mind, and definitely don't let anybody kind of silence that light or that fire, or don't let anybody put that fire out, because ultimately, usually, like let's say if it is like some type of business, you put a lot of work in the beginning to kind of not coast towards the end, but you know, you put in that work in the beginning, and then you kind of get like seniority or whatever. It's just like kind of how things go in like corporate America, if that's what this is. But even if you're an entrepreneur, it's the same thing. You put in a lot of activity in the beginning, and then slowly over time that thing becomes self-sufficient. You have the money, the means to pay for extra help, whatever that is, and gives you more freedom. So that's kind of the vibe I'm feeling from this. But right now we're stepping into this really beautiful new beginning of something that's a surprise. It's not predictable. It's something that you brought in. Don't get focused on the day in and day out. Just give yourself grace and compassion and others around you while communicating the importance of this. With the Five of Cups, or Five of Staves in this particular deck, I really like it because it's five of the same person, like arguing with themselves, fighting themselves. So, like I said, be very careful of your mindset. Stick with something, stick with a story about this, and run with it, even if you feel delusional about it. Stay positive. You can either focus on like all the terrible things that could happen from this new idea, this unpredictable thing that you can't really, you know, predict. I keep saying that. You can't really project what's going to come. So you can either have negative thoughts about that or keep it really high vibe, really positive. And with the power card, I think you have what it takes to whip that mind into shape and just be mindful of not over exhausting yourself from yourself. Okay? I don't really feel like there's too much external pushback. I think it's, and I'm not saying that there's any internal either. I'm just saying if that does come up during this process, just to be mindful of that and to be positive through that. And I mean, of course, if there's something that we need to improve on, being honest with ourselves, but not to get into a negative mindset. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. So yep, being like with the Two of Pentacles, being balanced with this situation, putting in as much time that you're going to pour into whatever this is. You're pouring into yourself, taking care of yourself, and the relationships around you. And maybe you need to pull back a little bit on that kind of time with people in order to prioritize yourself and this idea, but it's not going to be forever. So just get right with that, because it's gonna be worth it. We have embracing sensuality as union. So I think with this, I'm feeling like your fire. We were talking about that. Don't let anybody put your fire out. Don't let anybody muffle or silence whatever this beautiful idea is that you have, that you're working towards, that already is like started. We're already here. And so whatever that is that does light you up, let that be an affirmation, or I guess a confirmation that you're on the right path. And like I said, this is something that you brought in and you called this in, and you're fully capable of riding these, this set, right? Like, or at least if you can't ride all of them, you're perfectly capable of, duck diving the ones that aren't no good and riding the ones that are good and then doing it all over again, It just feels really fun. So, and then you have keeping it in check. And this says, pay attention to what is going on around you. You might be moving into something too quickly or missing some important details. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, when we first got these cards with the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck, it does feel like a very fast energy. So with that balance and practicality and spirituality, and sensuality, I kind of take the senses, you slow down to smell the roses. So even though we're moving fast and we're juggling a lot, just really making sure that we're reading the fine print and not just, oh, I'm busy signing off on something, and really taking a minute, solely focusing on this thing, combing through it, just breathing through those things that you need to get done. They're all going to be there. I don't personally always believe in, time constraints, deadlines. So that's just a side note. That's not anything from spirit, but just taking your time, breathing. Things will get done as they get done. Obviously not putting it on the back burner for too long, but taking your time to sit with that and make sure that you're not just rushing into anything or bulldozing through anything or bulldozing things out, and not really like reflecting or taking the time to like assess the importance and allocating that time to that thing, right? So it's all about a beautiful balance. And I think with the balance, spirituality and practicality is like you might need some help outside of yourself with this kind of thing. So we have shadow side, or shadow, not shadow side. Shadow, oh, harmony, and light. So these are all major arcana. So that's really cool. But yeah, with the shadow, I think really that it was all just like the mindset stuff that we were talking about, and getting in your head and getting negative and then accidentally self-sabotaging, kind of. So just being really mindful of that. I feel like this is a skill that you've been honing in on, but you know, when the risk is high and unpredictable, it's easy to fall into stress and fall into like a lack, fear mindset, thinking the worst. But with the light card, really keeping the hope and keeping that positive, high vibration mindset over this new venture. With the harmony card, this could be, you know, a relationship coming in. This is part of the surprise that I'm rooting now. And then this is part of the thing that you'll need to be juggling, this new beginning. And then this Six of Cups, you know, person that comes in and just kind of makes you feel like, oh my gosh, this is great. You know, I gotta figure out how to multitask and do all the things I want to do. But this harmony could also be co-creating with spirit and harmony with spirit with these decisions that we have to make. It doesn't necessarily have to be with the physical partnership. It can be a metaphysical partnership. But also with that soul tribe vibe that I was getting earlier, like you're just going to have a really great support. And people are going to be, the people that are aligned for you are going to be bringing harmony and peace, and not making things difficult, not bringing in conflict, or making you kind of tap into that, well, what if it, you know, kind of thing. And then we have an unfinished symphony. And so this unfinished symphony, I'm really getting with the Wheel of Fortune. They're both 10s. So, that's part of a surprise, and this could be part of this partnership, because we did, yep. So, you know, just making sure that we're not cluttering up our space, whether that be physically or mental space, whatever, emotional space, with things that don't need to be there, that are messing up the juggling act, right? Because I don't know, something could be coming back around, and if it's not coming back around, we're getting a second chance to do something differently, a different thing again, right? So yeah, this is a very curious reading. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Unfinished Symphony, I feel like I'm just tapping into the surface of it all. But the main message is keeping it in check, making sure we are keeping ourselves in check and taking care of ourselves, so that we have that energy to look through the fine print, to balance out all this stuff, and then just to really like go for the things that like light you up and fuel you, and try to limit the things that are draining. But my pile threes, that is your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.